Have you ever wondered why no one has successfully made a moon landing since the late 90s? Well, that's about to change. The new $93 billion plan has caught our attention. Get ready to blast off into the cosmos with NASA's groundbreaking Artemis program from Earth to the Moon. Ambitious Artemis. This electrifying initiative is all about putting brave astronauts on the moon. It's the start of a new chapter of having humans continuously on the surface of the moon. Inspired by the goddess of the moon herself, Artemis, this mission builds on the incredible achievements of the legendary Apollo program. If you'll recall, Apollo first took us to the moon over half a century ago. The ultimate goal is to use our lunar neighbor as a stepping stone to reach Mars. With such a crazy ambitious goal, NASA's budget is more than generous, and we'll circle back to that in just a moment. With a deadline set by the previous administration to land humans at the lunar South Pole by 2024, this program is truly pushing the limits of what we can achieve, and the possibilities are literally out of this world. By utilizing the moon's unique environment, we can gain the knowledge and tools we need to explore and navigate our solar system like never before. The question is, are you ready to join the ranks of history's greatest explorers and discover the wonders of the cosmos with Artemis? The moon may seem like a small step compared to a mission to Mars, but seasoned NASA astronaut Stephen Swanson is ready for the challenge. It's going to act as a great testbed for the even more challenging journey to the Red Planet. With a Mars mission taking almost 3 years and requiring precise planetary alignment, the stakes are incredibly high, to say the least. That's why we need to use the moon to gain essential knowledge and experience that will help us prepare for the unpredictable challenges of Mars. Except that's not all. The moon is also a treasure chest of resources that we can use to fuel our journey to the stars. By gathering materials from the lunar surface, we can potentially create the fuel we need to power our spacecraft and explore it even further. Before we talk more about this scientific marvel of space exploration, if you're finding this video entertaining and want to keep up to date with all the latest developments with the Artemis program in the future, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to stay notified every time that we post new videos. Now, back to the video. Women on the moon. And there's another reason to be excited about Artemis. It represents an era of inclusion and diversity in space exploration. NASA has promised to land the first woman on the moon under its current plans, and the program's name, Artemis, shows its commitment to representation. As NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine put it, Artemis is all about inspiring a new generation of young women to see themselves as the future pioneers of space exploration. We are about to witness history in the making with Artemis. For years, space exploration was dominated by men, with no women suitable for high-risk missions to the moon. However, times have changed, and NASA's Artemis program aims to land the first woman on the moon. With 75 women having already traveled to space as of March 2022, the Artemis moon landing is another important milestone in the space industry's evolution. Now, the lucky astronaut has not yet been decided, but it will likely be someone who has already worked aboard the International Space Station. NASA's Artemis team of astronauts, announced in December of 2020, includes 9 talented women and 9 accomplished men. Anyone could be the first woman on the moon. And now, as of August 2022, all active NASA astronauts are eligible for the Artemis mission, which means the selection process could get even more exciting. The Artemis 3-part plan. The Artemis program has a 3-part plan. The first mission, Artemis 1, was launched in November of 2021 and was an uncrewed test to evaluate the safety of the Space Launch System rocket and the Orion spacecraft. The SLS rocket is a beast. It stands 322 feet tall and consists of a core stage, an upper stage, and solid rocket boosters. It's designed to launch the Orion spacecraft to the moon. The Orion capsule is larger than the Apollo module and can carry up to 4 astronauts. Artemis 1 was successful and carried 10 CubeSats into space to perform experiments. And hold on tight, because Artemis 1 has already blasted off with a heart-pumping launch from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida on November 16th of 2022. This awe-inspiring lunar mission lasted 25.5 action-packed days before a triumphant splashdown off the coast of Mexico's Baja Peninsula on December 11th of 2022. The next mission, Artemis 2, is planned for 2024 and will carry the first 4 Artemis astronauts on a lunar flyby and monitor the spacecraft systems while carrying humans. The third and final mission, Artemis 3, is planned for 2025. We know now that it will have the first woman and the next man to step onto the lunar surface. The plan is to have all the astronauts remain on the moon for about a week. It goes without saying that this is going to cost a lot of money to get done, so let's talk about that. Moon landing costs. If you plot a journey to the moon, well, then you better be ready to empty your wallets. Now, the cost of the Artemis program is still being fine-tuned, making it difficult to predict how many of its impressive plans will come to follow. Get this. The Apollo program, which successfully landed astronauts on the moon 6 times between 1969 and 1972, had an overall budget of $23.6 billion in 1973 dollars, which is equivalent to over $136 billion in today's money. This means that each Apollo moon landing cost around $22.6 billion. In comparison, NASA's projected spending for the Artemis program is expected to reach $93 billion by 2025, with each SLS and Orion launch costing $4.1 billion. Despite the high cost, NASA believes that the benefits of the Artemis program are worth the investment. After all, it aims to pave the way for sustainable human exploration of the moon and beyond. The program also has the potential to inspire innovation and encourage new generations of scientists, engineers, and of course, astronauts. Speaking of future projects, the Artemis Project has got a lot more going on under its belt. Let's talk about that. Artemis Projects. Now, the Artemis Project is composed of several components. The first is the Lunar Orbital Platform Gateway, which is a space station that will be stationed around the moon. The gateway will serve as a platform for scientific experiments and missions to the lunar surface, as well as extend human presence in space. Remember the beastly Space Launch System rocket? Well, the gateway will be transported by it into lunar orbit. Now, private aerospace companies are also expected to play a significant role in the Artemis project. Talk of contributing to this ambitious project has been going on since Donald Trump's era. As part of the Trump administration's push towards the moon, private firms are being asked to develop hardware and potentially start a lunar economy, too. 11 US companies, including Elon Musk's SpaceX and Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin, have been awarded $45.5 million to develop landers that can take astronauts to the moon's surface. SpaceX has been selected to provide the crew lander for the Artemis 3 mission based on the company's Starship vehicle. More so, 9 smaller businesses have also been contracted to deliver robotic spacecraft to the moon. They need solid tech to conduct research and collect data. Some of these companies are interested in mining lunar resources, such as water, which can be split into hydrogen and oxygen and then used as rocket fuel. And we know where they're planning to land and begin exploration. The Artemis Landing. Now, the moon is going to be full of surprises, surely. Keeping that in mind, Artemis is heading to the lunar south for its initial missions. This area is of particular interest as it's believed to have a high concentration of water ice. Extracting this water could be super important for future exploration missions. Think about this, they serve as a resource for human hydration, rocket fuel, or as a cooling system for equipment. One location of particular interest is the Shackleton Crater, a massive 12-mile depression on the lunar surface that is worth exploring. What's unique about this particular crater, you might ask? Well, the crater is strangely deep and creates a permanent shadow. That means the temperature within the crater is lower than the rest of the surface. It makes it an ideal location for ice to form. These permanently dark areas have some of the coldest temperatures in the solar system, making them ideal candidates for finding water ice. While it is possible to find water on other parts of the moon's surface, the areas with the highest concentration of water are the best places to begin exploring for additional natural resources. I think it's safe to say that NASA's Artemis program is on its way to making history by going to the gloomy South Pole. Either way, this journey will be one that will likely revolutionize everything that we've known about the moon, space, and eventually, Mars. And we're just going to have to keep our eyes wide open for the ongoing news about Artemis. And speaking of that news, if you want to stay up to date about this mission, well, then hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can stay up to date with all our latest videos. And as always, thank you so much for watching and spending your time with us, and we hope to catch you in our future videos. And until then, take care.